Hey everybody, Fifth Horseman here, playing more Kerbal Space Program, and we've got Drepollo getting ready to launch to Dre. And for once, there's no argument about what the name of the ship is, if it's Dre or Dres, because it's not Dres Polo. It is actually Drepollo, so I don't have to apologize for the way I say Dre. We got four. Tell you what, I'll launch this guy. He's kind of, as usual, he's kind of crazy, but we're going to launch in 3, 2, 1, go. And that is super loud in my ears. But yeah, it's kind of ugly. I haven't unlocked very many rocket-y parts while I'm digging down to get all the science. So I'm using the small fuel tanks and these big solid rocket boosters. And this fuel here is slowly draining out as these things go. But these solids will be gone way before those go away. But anyway, we've got 4 packages of science. What we've got is I honestly don't know. I think we only need 3, and I'm going to take 2 on the surface. But we've got high over Dre, low over Dre, and you know what? That's not going to work. I don't know what I was thinking. We'll have to take one. We'll have to take one out over the sun or something. But oh well, here we go. Goodbye. And the way these things work, I kind of screwed up my staging. Not screwed up. I did weird staging. It's kind of asparagus-y, oniony. I don't know. But these fuel tanks go into these rockets, and they don't actually have rockets of their own underneath. But these rockets, fuel tanks, go into the center stack, as do these. So when these tanks run out, these tanks are also going to run out. So when these rockets are done firing, I hit the spacebar and it's going to kick off not only these 2 and these 2 here, it's also going to kick off these 2. It's weird, but it gets the job done with the tech I have available, which is always a good sign. But yeah, other than that, this is something you've seen many times. I'm going to cut out here, and I will be back when something interesting happens. Like, for example, stage separation. That looks cool. Look at how they fall aside there. Yeah, you see that really kind of hurts our thrust to weight. We're almost at 1 now. But that's why, actually, I kept these rockets instead of dumping them in the beginning, because we lose a lot of thrust to weight, and we still got a long ways to go. We're not even at 500 meters per second, and we're only 24 kilometers up. So yeah, we need that extra oomph. So might as well keep you with me for a little bit here while we go. Just so you know, the plan here is I was going to go to Moon and Minmus. If you recall, at the end of the last episode, I was talking about that. The reason I didn't do that is because I can't. The whole trick with Moon and Minmus and with Jewel even is having docking ports, which I haven't unlocked yet. So until I get those, I don't want to go to a place that requires a lot of takeoffs and landings, because I can't redock my ships once I do that. So yeah, I have to wait for that basically. This launch is a little suboptimal. I'm actually going to rotate him sideways, get down again. Might as well follow him this way. Because when I drop these guys, they're going to fall straight because I've got struts holding them on. So I want to make sure that we're not screwing that up. And what I'm doing here is I'm not actually following my normal ascent profile, my 30 by 30. What I'm doing is I'm keeping my time to apoapsis under 30 seconds, but I don't want it to go down too far. If it gets to 10, I'm going to be in the danger zone. But before then, I'm just burning to get it, because I'm trying to maximize my use of my low thrust to weight ratio. And once you're this high in the atmosphere, drag really doesn't affect you. Once you're over 30 or so, drag isn't as much of a factor as a lot of people think it is. So I'm just keeping this at 18, but yeah, not much is going to be happening for the next little bit, so I will be back. Oh wait, actually something is going to happen. We're going to lose even more thrust to weight ratio, so I'm going to keep you here while these last engines burn out. Let's do the camera, like the camera on the ship mode. Yeah, see, they go slide straight back, and we definitely don't want to lose those things. See, and now look at our thrust to weight ratio is under 1. We actually can't lift this thing straight upwards. And we're losing our meters per second, so I am going to tilt the nose up to hopefully keep us around 10 or so. That's looking pretty good, just over 11. I don't want to tilt it up too much because I am wasting a bit of my thrust not thrusting forward. I'm not gaining as much speed as I could get with this, but there's not much you can do because I have to keep my apoapsis in front of me or this whole thing goes to pot. So but yeah, other than that, it's not much is going on. I mean, I've got plenty of delta V here. We've got 700 and we need maybe 5 to reach orbit, so we should just get to orbit, maybe a little bit less when you count air drag and efficiency of not thrusting forward, the quote-unquote drag from that. So not really concerned though. We should be fine. We're bringing our periapsis up. Tell you what, I'll come back to you when I'm either in orbit or I'm kicking this stage off. Okay, we're getting very close here. We are still 10 seconds away from our apoapsis. Our periapsis is climbing fairly quickly. We are almost out of meters per second. This is actually pretty much by design. I kind of tested this rocket, designed and tested it fairly extensively before recording, as I like to do. So I know that I'm basically going to reach orbit with this stage, but not quite, so I therefore dump it in the ocean. Or at least on a city somewhere. But we are now raising our periapsis up above 0. We're now pushing our apoapsis out in front of us really far, getting that thing up to, say, 80. And now we're coasting up to the end here, which is nice. We actually have experiments to do. Oh, we could do the gravity scan. We never did a gravity scan from the launch pad, but it wouldn't be worth very much. The gravity scan from here is only worth 4 science. Let's go ahead and keep this data. I'm going to hit F5 because I don't know if I can actually leave the cockpit this low down, but I'm going to give it a try. Oh, by the way, Cursini, you're the one flying this. I was going to mention that at the beginning. Looks like this low in the atmosphere, you can do an EVA, or you can do an EVA. Let's go ahead and do this report. It's not worth anything. We've already gotten it. Let's go ahead and grab this gravity data here and get back in. Yeah, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of these, because we're not going to a planet with a moon. We're just going to a planet. So we've only got 3 areas to do our reports. We've got landed on the surface, we've got low over the planet, and we've got high over the planet. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of these from the sun, and then high over the planet, low over the planet, and landed on the planet, because I can't have 2 of any one report. Oh, we're flipping around. What is up with that? Oh, we've lost our apoapsis. That's what that is. Well, let's regain it here. Didn't realize we had that much drag. Maybe this wasn't the best descent profile ever, but we should be fine. Yeah, I got to give it a lot of thrust. This didn't happen in my testing. Of course, I wasn't talking into a mic while I was testing. But, that's kind of crazy. We're doing a lot worse than I thought. But, oh well, not a big deal. We got plenty of meters per second, at least we should. These fuel tanks should get us all the way there and hopefully slow us down. But even if they don't slow us down, this can land and then dump these off the side and return just on this. So, should be fine. But I do wish I was not bleeding off so much speed here, to be honest with you. Who knows, this could come in, this could be a problem later. And as usual, I forgot to dump my monoprop. I could actually include a monopropellant, like a thruster. But there's really no reason to, because it's extra weight and I'm not doing any docking. There's no reason for monopropellant in this thing. My meters per second are still shaving off at a fairly decent clip, but as I rise here, they are lowering slower, I guess is the right way to say it. This hopefully will be one of my last pushes up to 80 that I'll have to do, because it's going down. Okay, anyway, this is getting boring. I will come back when I'm in orbit. I'm going to show you how I'm going to get to Dre, because it's not the way I've gone to other planets in the past. Okay, we are in orbit. We've got a little over $1,000 of Delta V in this stage here, and this stage is these fuel tanks here. And then we've got over $1,000 in this stage, which is these fuel tanks here, before we dump off this. And then have just this guy left. So, that means, what does that mean, actually? I don't know what that means, to be honest. And it looks like I lost no, I didn't lose my fuel lines. They're right here. Okay, so, yeah, I forgot that the gravioli detector works over biomes, even in space. So I've actually gotten a little bit of extra science that I didn't realize I was going to get. But let's go ahead and plot our course. Now, what we're going to do here is slightly different than what we have done in the past. We're going to start out very similarly. We're going to do our ejection burn here the same way we did it before to go to Eve or Duna. We're going to get our nice, almost equal to Kerbin orbit. And we're going to delete our maneuver node, because that's exactly what I wanted to do. The game obviously knew me, although that's weird, it came back. I will never understand this. I'm actually going to do it from here, because I understand this thing here. Prograde 1 more meter per second. That gets us out into a orbit that is pretty much the same as Kerbin. Now we're going to Dre. So let's set him as a target. And this is actually where I care about doing my maneuver. So I'm going to add a maneuver here and not do anything. Then I'm going to delete my first maneuver node. And then I know that we have to wait, not 19 minutes. It says we have to wait 19 minutes, but I know that's wrong. I'll never understand this thing. 129 days. So I have to delete this maneuver node here. There we go, 129 days till our next maneuver. Now, we're obviously not going to wait on the ship for this. We're going to head back to the launch pad. And we're going to go into map mode so we don't give ourselves epilepsy. But we're going to fast forward time while time goes by here. I guess I can't set Dre as a target while I'm landed. But no big deal. We've got 70 some odd days left until we're heading out there. I have no idea what this sphere of influence changes is in 15 years, but I'm not going to worry about it. Let's go ahead and jump to the ship, and we don't need to restore the maneuver node. Okay, we don't want this maneuver node because it's useless. Now we want to actually eject from Kerbin. And it's going to be in about 3 minutes. It looks like it was about 1,000 before, just to get out of Kerbin. And then if we zoom out here, we'll find where we are as far as Dre is concerned. Looks like we got to go a little bit more. Probably not a full 100, but I don't know that for a fact. It looks like it's going to be a couple hundred. And what I want to do is I want to get this apoapsis right on the money here. So we're going to go forward in time to get our apoapsis right at our descending node. And note, I am not paying any attention to where Dre is in its orbit right now. That is not my concern at this moment. My concern is getting these things lined up. And we're going to get that magic marker here in a moment. I guess I could have done this by ones. Okay, magic marker right on the money. That is exactly what I want to do. And it's in 3 minutes and 45 seconds. It is a very hefty 1534 meter per second burn, which is going to use up most of this and half of this, or all of this and half of this. So we're talking a minute and a half plus another half minute, so that's a 2-minute burn. Not really bad, considering how far we're going. But I guess that's what happens when you don't use nuclear engines to send your ships off. It's funny using this low-tech stuff and you know, like, it's better than the stuff I usually use in my other series, because I'm not using nuclear engines to get everywhere, because efficiency means using this engine right now. and the engine, the little dinky engine that's on this guy. But, okay, well, we've got 3 minutes before the thing. The alarm's going to pop up here. I'm just going to delete this maneuver node, because it's obvious, or the maneuver node, that sphere of influence change alarm, because it was bogus. We have hit our alarm, which means I'm going to hit F5 here. And I'm going to go down right down to 1 minute, because I think it's going to be very close to 1 minute. Or to a 2-minute burn, I should say. So I'm going to go very close to 1 minute. I'm going to get myself right on the maneuver node. And we are going to go. 2.5 it says. I'll live with that. I think this estimated burn here might be less accurate than this one, because I think this one assumes constant mass and everything. Like it doesn't do any calculations for burning fuel. I don't know that for a fact, but that's what I'm going with. So we're burning fuel away here. We just got done with these tanks and we're dumping these now into the engines here to speed ourselves up. We will eventually be chucking these into a very ecliptic Kerbin orbit that ideally at some point will crash it into moon or send it ejected out. But other than that, this is fairly normal. Now, what we're going to do here is... This is just getting us into a Dre encounter eventually someday in the future. Kirsty, you're probably going to be on this mission for multiple years. Perhaps even a decade. Let's see, I can't see... Yeah, actually right here. We're in year 8 right now, so we'll see what happens when you land back on Kerbin. What year it is. I'm guessing 11, 12, who knows. Yeah, we're not doing efficiency here with fuel. We are doing efficiency with fuel. We're not doing efficiency with time. Time is not of the essence in this series. So I am taking advantage of that, and I've decided after the fun we had with Gilly and everything that I'm not going to refer to outside sources. I'm just going to do the missions and do the game kind of Kerbal style, I guess. A lot of people say. I personally think Kerbal style involves calculating this stuff, but it's fun to try it like this and see what it's like. Still using Kerbal Engineer. There's no way I'm not going to use that. We're almost to the thing here, and I just realized I've probably been dragging these things along. Yes, I have. Get rid of those. That's what happens when you talk and work at the same time. Okay. There we go. 0 meters per second. We should be pretty much perfect on this orbit. And we are. I don't know if I could have done it better by being in map mode, to be honest with you. But now what we're going to do is, at our apoapsis, we're going to set a thing here. And look at that. We've already got a really close encounter. I wasn't expecting it to be this quick. But we can speed ourselves up. And hopefully get an actual... There we go. Boom. So let's focus the view on him. See what this encounter looks like. It's a little bit low, but not a big deal. The important thing is it's centered on him, so I don't think we can actually do any better at this point in our orbit. I can try, but I doubt it's going to work. Let's actually do it like this. Yeah, see, that's got a little bit closer, but not too much. See, and changing it normal is not going to affect it because it's going to be right back here no matter what. Same thing with radial. So I'm going to leave those alone, and I'll fix that elsewhere. But now we've got this 41 meter per second burn in a year and change. So actually, it is going to be 3 years at least, probably, because it's just to get back, it's going to take that. So I've lost my alerts, and I don't know why. I don't know under what circumstances this science alert thing stops telling us stuff. Over Kerbin's grasslands, let's go ahead and keep that data. I have no idea if he's gotten it yet. Let's go ahead and take the data, get back in. Apparently he has, so we will just wait for that. I'm actually going to try exiting out of the save and going back in and seeing if that resets the alerts here. But actually, I'm going to go in... Oh, never mind, it did reset the alerts. Or didn't reset the alerts. They didn't need reset. I wasn't getting any. We're high over Kerbin's grasslands now. So you even get biomes... That's crazy. You even get biome information high over stuff with the gravity thing. So that's worth a lot of science. It's almost worth doing another orbit thing like I did in Kerpollo. Maybe we'll do that if we need the science. I don't think we're going to need the science that much. But we are still in Kerbin's shadow. Let's go ahead and speed up time, see if we get more science. We do. Might as well take advantage of it. Gravity scan. High over Kerbin Shores. That works for me. That's a hard one to get, actually, probably. Let's go ahead and take the data and get back in. We've already got another one. High over Kerbin's Water. Keep that data. Hop on out. Grab it. And hop back in. I'm going to bring the alarm clock over here, I guess. Maybe the alarm clock could go over here. That could be its home from now on. I'm just trying to find a place where everything doesn't get over each other and stuff like that. Let's go ahead and speed up time so we can get more science here. We're finally out in the sun, which is good. Looks like we're going to be staying over the water for a while because we're kind of heading straight away from Kerbin as it rotates, so we're staying kind of above it. Not a big deal, but what are you going to do? Kersony heading to Dre. There's his spent stage, which is just going to take off into nowhere land. I guess we can speed up time a little bit here. See, the problem is I should actually turn on the stop warp thing, but it'll screw up my trajectory. I don't care that much, to be honest. And now we're going to get some new science. Let's close the alarm and unpause. Let's get this gravity data, see how much it's worth here. 44 science. Keep the data. We're also now going to do 1 goo and 1 materials bay. Sadly, they're not worth very much, but I needed it to balance the craft, and I probably could have done triple symmetry, but I didn't want to. Maybe next time I'll do triple symmetry when I go to Elu. Keep the data and keep the data. And we won't collect it right now, but we are going to collect the gravity data, as you do. And now it is fast forwarding to our ascending node, which is a fairly long time from now. So I am not going to make you sit through this. I will be back when we have our encounter burn all set up. Okay, our timer is counting down. Now. There we go. Have that. We are ready to do our burn in 3 minutes. It is a mere 15-second burn. And we're way far out that it doesn't matter anyway. But I'm going to be a stickler and at least get close to 0 hour here. That was weird how it... Actually, I can... Feels like I'm not doing it right. It feels like this is telling me the wrong thing. Let's delete this maneuver node, and I think I screwed things up. I don't think that's the way I wanted to burn at all. Because I was only burning prograde in my... What did it do? Okay, I have to do the tab thing. I'm not hitting shift tab. Oh. Let's go into physics warp. Now I can hit shift tab. Go back to my ship. There we go. Now I can slow down physics warp. Are you serious? Yeah, this is kind of terrible. I have to plan this on my other side of my orbit now to get myself back out here. There we go. We're not too bad. But that's making it worse, so let me swing around to the other side here. That shouldn't be making it worse, though. This is where... Oh, that's target at closest approach. Yeah, when it's in front, you need to slow down. Come on. There we go. There's our encounter. Okay, now we have our second burn on the other side of our orbit to actually get our encounter. Yeah, I don't know what happened there. I wish I was paying more attention. Maybe if I'm lucky, I just deleted the maneuver node that I wanted. Luckily, I can restore it here. Restore maneuver node. Okay, then close the alarm. Yeah, it told me to burn in a certain direction, and that direction was wrong, and that was the game doing that, not a precise node. So I'm not 100% sure what that was doing. And apparently I can't put the alarm clock over here, because when I do, it goes over like this. If I put it close enough, will it drop down? No. Does it always do it like that? I guess it does, yeah. So I do want it over here. That's why I put it over here to begin with. Okay, anyway, I'm going to fast forward again. I'm actually going to hit F5 here. I'm trying a new mod out. And I'm going to hit F5 because I don't know what's going to happen when I do this mod. And it's so new that I haven't even put it in this mode here. But it's the time control mod. And apparently I can do time control with this thing instead of... So I'm going to add a 0 to the... I'm going to go 10 times warp rates here. So now when I go up to my highest mode, it's going to be 10 times faster than it was before. And it definitely is. Now let's see if it screws up Kerbal Alarm Clock. I'm afraid to go any higher than this. I definitely don't want to go 10 times faster than this. That would be scary. Kerbal Alarm Clock seemed to be okay as far as slowing that down. So that makes me happy. I guess we'll keep it like this. Let's get rid of this window. But we are slowing down here. Right there. There we go. Okay. Delete on close, close on and pause. I actually want to target myself onto Dre, because we're going to try to get pretty close to the planet here. Focus our view on it. And again, it's too high, so we're going to have to... I'll show you how I fix that when we get to it. It's at only a 10 meter per second burn. I think I'm just going to do it here, because it really doesn't matter how close we are. Whoa, actually. Screw that. I'm just going to slow down a little bit because this is really good. I might be able to actually do this right here with... There we go. That looks really good. And I'm going to try radial. I don't know if it's going to work. I don't know if it's going to work, which is why we try these things, because who knows how these things work out. Let's just do a tiny little bit radial, which is the exact wrong direction. So we're going to go over here and try it radial. We still have 500 meters per second on this stage, which is pretty nice by me. And yeah, that works out pretty well. Let's get it close, and then we need to... I think if we go like halfway between these guys... Oh, look at that. That's really nice. That's getting nice. Okay, we need to be closer to it, though. That went horribly wrong. So let's go perfectly radial and see what happens here. Yeah, we're doing worse. We are doing worse. This is not working out the way I wanted it to. Okay, now if I bring it down... Was it this way that would bring it down? Sort of. Maybe a way will bring it back. I'm just doing horrible. This is why we use maneuver nodes. This is the reason they put maneuver nodes in the game. I think I'm going to leave it like this. And, God, I had it so nice, though. Makes me mad. Let's try this one more time, bringing it close to this. There we go. One more for luck. Okay, we're leaving it like this. That's the approach we're going to have. And I'm just going to, you know what, I can't leave it alone. I'm going to thrust limit this thing down 10%. Okay, that's where I'm leaving it. Yeah, we can tweak that once we get closer to the planet, once we get in its sphere of influence, really, which is a year away. So let's just enjoy our new super time speed here as our ship is coming along. There's our encounter over here. Get these all in the same map mode. Sorry about the crazy lines, but what are you going to do? Kerbal Alarm Clock keeps slowing it back down. Whoa, there we go. Boom, and... boom. Close the alarm and unpause. Okay, now we can burn radially towards the planet. And I guess south and east as well. Which is radially towards the planet. So actually, yeah, let's just burn like this. Until we're centered on the planet. And then burn due east. I think this is going to work. I don't know for a fact. Yes, it does work. We're burning due east to get ourselves on the perimeter here. And I see no reason to not just land it right there. Now we're going to do the periapsis thing. The periapsis thing being getting our periapsis above crashing. Should be good. And then right here, 1,000. Something tells me that's too low. Now, actually, does the information exist in here? Dre, let's see. Does it have like highest point? No, it doesn't. Area, mass, GM, gravity, escape velocity, atmosphere present, no. So it doesn't actually tell me the highest point. That would be nice information to have in the game. But I think I'm going to try this just to see what happens. I'm also going to see what it's going to take to stop right here. Oh, it's not a 16. This still thinks that. But now at maximum thrust here, I need 1871 meters per second, which is going to be 15, 16, 17, 18. It's going to be all of this and most of this. So it's actually going to be about a 4-minute burn, give or take. That's too much for that. That makes me uncomfortable. So I'm going to burn farther away. I'm going to burn up to about, say, 6 kilometers here. And I can't read it, of course. Okay, delete the maneuver node. 6 kilometers, 7 kilometers, that works. Now I can restore that maneuver node. And that's still roughly what we need to do. So I'm going to aim myself at it. We are going to remember that we're a science vessel here and do our science. Mystery goo, we can just do all the things. We don't have to worry about where anything is. Did I just... Oh, I double-clicked something. Kersini, you are 500 meters from your ship. That's a little alarming.